Hi there, it's Sherls here. Thank you for stopping by on my channel. I am currently working on this writing journal for my daughter's teacher's graduation gift, and I thought of sharing with you how I put this together. This journal can be set down like so, but I want to put something on the edges of the paper so it will have more interest. And this journal, I made it using Kleenex boxes as the cover. It's really easy and simple to put together, and I think if you want to, you can even have this in your craft fair. Just put some decoration or leave it blank like this as a writing journal. I used the opening of the Kleenex boxes to make this shaker element. It's not really like shaking now, the element cannot move much because I put too much glitter on some part. And in this tutorial I will show you like how I made this. And on the inside I have this corner tuck spot, and like I said, this can be called done like so, but I want to put something else on the edges or a little bit something on the middle of the paper here, so it will have more interest. But because this is a writing journal, I also want to make sure that there are a lot of spaces to write on. And also, I don't want to overwhelm the teacher thinking like, what are these for? What can I do with this? To make this journal, you need a Kleenex boxes, a pretty paper to cover the Kleenex box, and you also want to have your signature ready. If you don't mind showing the binding of the signature, then you can work on the signature later. But I like to hide the binding, and that's why I bind the signature first before I cover the spine with this fabric. You will want to cut these flaps of the Kleenex box, open it, and remove this plastic part. And you will have something like this. And it's totally fine if you rip the paper when you tear the plastic, because we are going to cover this side and you won't be able to see it. And now, Kleenex box doesn't have a symmetrical sides. One side is slightly shorter than the other, and you can see here, this will be the center of my journal, and this flap is shorter than the center, and this one, it is slightly wider than the center. So what I will do here, first I will trim this so it will have more straight edge, and then I will cut this side so it will have a similar gap from the center. I cut this edge straight so it's not really fussy now. And what I will want to do next is just take a pencil and mark where I need to cut it. Maybe something like this so it will have similar opening in both edges. I cut the flap, and this is what I have. So this will be where I'm going to sew my signature on, and this will be the back, and this is the front. It's totally fine to have this gap because I'm going to cover it with the laces like the one I have here. See, I cover the opening with lace so it's not really obvious. And next we will want to work on this side first. And I already picked my paper. This is from the Flower Language digital that I released last month. And let's see, I want this on the front and this on the back. But first I need to cut this paper to the height of my Kleenex boxes, which is 8 3/4. I cut my paper already to the height of my Kleenex box, and this is the scraps that I'm not going to throw away. I'm going to make this into paper ruffle and use it to decorate the pages. And I already decided this will be for my back cover, so I'll just put it aside for now. We are going to work on the front cover first. So the orientation of the front cover will be like this, and I want to put something on this side so it will have some image on it. And I already prepared the bookmark of the Flower Language. I'm going to cut this, and let's see which side I want to use. I think I will use this one for this opening. But before I do that, it's better to clean these edges, because when I pull the tab from this Kleenex box, the perforated is not really straight. I have trimmed off the rough edges of this Kleenex box opening. I also prepared the bookmark from the flower language, which I want to use on this side. So I'm going to use my glue stick and apply it on this. I do not know what is the fastest way to do this. This is the way that I think of, and it works for me. So if you have better way to position this bookmark on the other side of the Kleenex opening, then feel free to do so, or maybe share it with me so I can also learn from you. Yeah, this is what I do. I just position it and then adjust it like gently. This is the reason I'm using glue stick. It takes a little bit while to dry, and it will give me some freedom to rearrange this image or this bookmark. Next, you will want to use something strong to adhere this flap to the front cover, like so. And next, before we continue working with this flap, we want to apply adhesive on this side, like all over it. And it's totally fine if you miss the edges, because we are going to hand sew the edges, so you will cover the imperfection or the part that's open. We'll just align these. So align to the edge of this flap here, like so. Then open it carefully. Try not to disturb too much the position of this paper, and using your pen, trace the shape of this Kleenex box opening, and then cut this off. I already cut my opening and I have the scrap here, and actually if you want to, you can glue the scrap on the other side, so when you are done you will have a more continuous looking of digital. But I don't really mind having another image, so you will have a different interest. So now you will want to use a strong glue, and I found using liquid glue is it's like strong enough. And I want to put very generous glue, especially near the opening here, because we do not want any gap. If we have a gap, the glitter or sequin that we put in the opening will like slide off, and it will not work properly for a shaker element. Make sure that you burnish this really well, because we do not want any opening on these edges here, like this one slight opening here. I do not want that. So what I will do is just open this again, because I'm using liquid glue, it won't dry fast, and just put more glue on that edges, and you can burnish it really well. I'm really happy with how it looks now. I don't see any gap between the front and the back. And what I did on this piece was I used my glitter nail polish to add shimmer on this bookmark, as well as to add more sealant between the front and the back. Notice how I put the glitter on the bonding between the front and the back flap. I'm not sure frankly if it does do anything, but I feel that the nail polish will put another protection layer, so it will make sure that the glitter or sequin won't run off behind the cover or the cap if there are still any small cap. I use different color of glitter nail polish to add this glimmer on the bookmark, and I will just let it dry. While I'm letting the glitter to dry, I'm going to prepare the acetate to cover this opening, so to make this kind of shaker effect works. What I used for that part was this plus acetate packaging from a product that I don't remember what I bought, but this one is from Daiso. So I'm going to cut this. I already measured it that I just need half of this width to make one. My nail polish is dry and there is still no gap in between the cover, and I'm very happy about that. And I will just pour some sequin. I choose the flat one because the gap between the bottom and the top is not very thick. It's just the thickness of the Kleenex box. And then I will just put dump a little bit sequin, not sequin, the glitter in some spots. So in my previous piece, I just dump it on this cap, and I didn't spread it and it becomes like very bulky in the middle. So this time I just use my ice cream stick to put the glitter, so you will have some space to move around. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty good. Maybe a little bit more glitter, and just something like that. And next, I already have the acetate ready. It's already cut wider and higher and bigger than the openings, like, see. And then I will just put a strong glue. I'm using my silicone glue to put this. I put silicone glue very generously around the edges here, and I use my spatula to flatten it so I don't get any bulk. In my previous piece, in the first piece that I made, I didn't flatten the silicone, and it has bulge around the edges here, and I don't really like it. I just press it down again using my big spatula thingy. I don't quite remember what this thing called. Burnish it really well to make sure that it stick, and then we are going to glue this piece on the cover. So for this part, it doesn't really matter much if there is gap in the opening between the pretty paper and this acetate, because the sequin and the glitter is already sealed in between the cover, so it's not going to make a big difference. That's it. The cover is pretty much ready, and don't worry about this gap because I'm going to cover it with the fabric. And now on the back side, it's very simple. First I will just apply adhesive on this flap here. Again, I don't really care much if the edges here is not like adhere properly, because I'm going to sew on the top and the bottom, and then I will hide any like gap or opening with the laces on the edges, on the sides. I didn't really cut this really well. You see there's like a little bit gap. You can see the Kleenex box underneath this digital, just a sliver of it, and that's totally fine again because I'm going to hide it Now I'm going to put the closure and hide this cap here. On this part, if you don't mind showing the signature binding, then you can go ahead and put the closure and then the fabric, but I like to hide my binding also just to make sure that when something bad happens, the binding still like intact. In other case, like you won't accidentally cut it. But anyways, so I have this closure. It's a stretch fabric. It's just, if you notice, it's very short, but because it's a stretch fabric, it can like stretch really long, and it will able to hold the bulkiness of the journal when it is completely done. Okay, that one is taken care of, and now I'm going to poke the holes for the top and bottom stitches. This one here and the bottom one. And to do this, I'm going to use this handy dandy tool from IKEA. I think this is to measure the placement of your screw or something like that. I'm not really sure. I've had this tool for a while now and I don't quite remember why I got it. I'm just going to use a pile of cardboard for a mat and then place it where I want it to be. I have poked the holes along the top and the bottom, and while I'm in the poking business, I also poke my signature through the cover and bind it. I started from the outside, so the end of the, or the start of my binding on the outside, and then now I can use a piece of fabric and a strong glue to cover this up like this. And my cover is pretty much done. All I need to do will be to decorate and stitches the top and the bottom as well. And if you notice, I poke it first before I put the fabric. The reason why I don't really worry about it, because I'm going to sew from the inside, so I don't really care much if I can see, whether I can see the holes on the front or not. And the reason why I poke it, because it is a very thick carton. It will hurt your hand if you don't make the holes first. And that's why it's just use your poke tool. This is my cover, not my cover, my journal so far. This is the front cover, and this is the back. And this fabric is not completely dry, but that's okay. Now I'm going to stitch the top and the bottom. I don't really know the name of these stitches, but this is the look that I'm going for. So this will hide the gap opening, the look of these two Kleenex box side being glued together, and also it's going to help me hiding the edges that's not properly glued. This one, like this one here, is like kind of as an opening cap, but the stitches will hide it and make it looks like it's well done. Here, the spine of the journal is not quite easy to see the hole, but it's still doable if you see it between the laces here, and that's the reason why I'm not using a solid fabric or more solid laces to cover the center. I just do it like this and this, and then on the other side as well, just flip the signature over and again find the hole through the laces and continue stitching. I don't make a knot to finish this off. I'm not sure how other people do it, but what I like to do is just sew backward, and then sew a little bit more, threading around across this top, and then I will just make a knot around it and cut it. I'm going to do the same with the bottom. I'll be back. I already finished stitching the top and the bottom. It's not completely uniform. There's some like imperfection here and there, but that's the charm of handmade in my opinion. Now what I want to do next is decorate the cover and the back cover. I'm sorry, my camera stopped recording while I was decorating the front cover. So what I did, I used the butterfly from this journal card to decorate this corner, and I think I already showed you the die cuts that I use. This is the die cut that I use. It's from Craspire as well. It's just cutting very beautifully, and it's really easy to take off as well. I also cut my lace. This is the original lace. It's a beautiful lace from Craspire. I cut the leaf shape to make this corner decoration here. I also cut more of the heart shape and the flower to make this part. And now I'm going to work on the back cover, the behind the back cover. For this one, I am going to use a corner die cut, corner pocket tuck spot die cut that is also from Craspire. I already got some on this mixed media junk paper, and I'm just going to use this one. You see, it's really like it cut really beautifully, and you can take it off really easily. I'm going to use this too for another project. I really like the butterfly shape and this lotus like flower, but for now, for this one, I'm going to use this flower corner tuck spot. I'm just going to put it around here, let it dry, and then I can put the journal card in this one. I can put the journal card in, and on the top here I want to have something that the recipient can write, like whose journal or what type of journal this is. I cannot fit this frame, this border frame, on the front cover because I don't have enough space, and that's why I put it behind the front cover. And for this one, I use the stamp from Craspire as well. And for this one, I use this design. Oh, I put it upside down. It should be like the other way, but well, it works. And for this, I already stamped some here. Let's see which one I want to use. I think I will use this hibiscus one. And these stamps that also have like this best wishes sentiments that you can stamp on the middle, but I'm not using it. I got this one because of this frame, which I want to use it for the booklet. Yep, and it stamped beautifully, except I missed this pressing this spot. It's my fault. I decided to use my paper trimmer to cut it more because I like it to have more straight edges instead of a crooked one. Now this is the bookmark, not the bookmark, the journal card. And then next, I can do next just decorate the inside, or if I want to, I can also leave it like this because it is for writing journal, so I want to leave as much as possible writing space. And I will have some bookmark or tag here and something else here. And for the back right now I still have it pretty plain. But yeah, that's all. This is the construction of my simple writing journal. And I'm going to decorate this further and I will share with you in the next video. Before I forget, I will put the link of all the products that I use from Craspire in the description box. And don't forget that the company also give me 10% coupon for my subscriber or for everyone who watch this video. So when you order it, you can use it and you will get 10% on all of your total order. Thank you for watching. Happy crafting. Bye.